I don't give a damn about the people, what you mean? Yeah, nigga, I said that. Aye, aye, aye. Smoking on who? Smoking on what? Yeah, nigga, yeah, dead that. I don't give a damn about the people, good nigga. What you mean? I said that. Aye, I said that. Yeah, we really got chosen people. Yeah, we got 12 times, hood nigga. What you mean? Yeah, we really lethal. Aye, yeah, we really lethal. We don't give a damn about other people. What the hell you mean, little nigga? Yeah, I got 12, yeah, they're my people. They're my brothers, they're my sisters. Little nigga, you're from other mothers. I don't give a damn, little nigga. What you mean? Yeah, them still my brothers. Still my brothers. Yes, I love them like a motherfucker. Speak on my brother like motherfucker. Hit him so hard, got hit by a trucker. Yeah, she look good, but I cannot fuck her. I don't give a damn, yeah, just double. Ain't gon' lie, man, I cannot trust her. This is out to be killing brothers. Aye, so smoke on who? Smoke on what? Yeah, nigga, yeah, dead. I don't give a damn about the people, hood nigga. What you mean? I said that. Aye, and I meant that. Yeah, we in hell, can't you tell? I don't give a damn about what you sell. If you get caught, you the first to tell. You tuck your tail. Why everybody wanna go to jail? Sitting with men in a fucking cell. Man, I'm just saying that's get to tell. Niggas be soft and motherfucking frail. You niggas be blind, and niggas be braille. Ops right there and niggas can't tell. Smoke so much, your brain is a snail. Kill a black man, don't nobody tell. And nobody cry. Thus suck the Lord, niggas gotta die. Read a real black watch, touch your brother, little nigga, man, I dare you try. You just might die. And I put this on your Howard Shy. Yes, he really in the fucking sky. Man, I can't wait till he crack the sky. Whole lot of UFOs in the sky. Man, these niggas gotta really die. Aye, so smoking on who? Smoking on what? Yeah, nigga, yeah, did that. I don't give a damn about your people, little nigga. What you mean? I said that. I say it again. All brown skin ain't your kin, and a white man ain't your friend. They're the reason, man, we killing each other. They're the reason why we hate each other. They're the reason why we against each other. But the Bible say love your brother, and when you see him, a nigga, just hug him. I know we did you wrong, please forgive him, cause in that day you really gon' need him. Aye, so smoking on who? Smoking on what? Yeah, nigga, yeah, did that. I don't give a damn about your people, little nigga. What you mean? I said that. Aye, aye, aye. Look at me now.
All right, Shalom, Israel. This is the Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Command Junior Hunter. Today is Isupk Austin's Lashawan Qadash class. We'll be going breaking down the Hebrew, the biblical Hebrew. Ain't none of that Yiddish, all that other mess. Just straight biblical Hebrew. For the starter class, we're going to finish what we had last class. We was going over the 12 tribes. We was breaking down not only what they meant, but also their symbol that represents them as well. I think it was in Genesis, the 49th chapter, right? 49th chapter. We're going to be in that today to break down, what's going on when I want to go in Genesis, the 49th chapter, and also when the Genesis, the 49th chapter is when they was getting their prophecies for the last days, which is how you get to kind of know who these people are today. But we also going to get into when they received their name too. Right, when when they had these sons out, they gave them their name, depending on who they came from. Some came from Joseph. 2 sons came from Joseph. Then everything else came from what? Jacob. Right. Now, we landed off with Manasseh. Right. Manasseh, which is what in the Hebrew? What is Manasseh in the Hebrew? How you say Manasseh in the Hebrew? Think about it. It's similar. You want to start from the top? We're going to start from the top. How do you say Judah in the Hebrew? Yahweh, right? How do you say Benjamin in the Hebrew? What? Benjamin?
Banyamin.
God name sound like fake. It's like over there. Ben Yazirel, that's what you sound like over there. So you got Banyamin. Why is it Banyamin? Son of the right hand. The sister said it's because of the son of the right hand. The reason why she knows this besides her already getting the breakdown. But if you know what you're talking about, in the name you have Ban, Yam Yun. Ban means what? Son, which is why we say what? I'll say Gadawan, Ban, Yahawada, Ban, Yashala. We say state your registry because I'm a son of who? Judah, which is a son of Israel. Right? So Yam Yun is what? Right.
Oh, right.
Is right. Why is it right? Well, of course, that's just what it is. But when we, for those who did the Hebrew Academy, we understand that, we like Yam Yun, Sar. Which way I'll be turning? Right. Right. Now, what is Levi? Okay, who would Judah? Okay, also, who would Judah be today, and who would be Benjamin today?
You asking?
Yeah, I'm asking.
I mean, Judah would be like Negroes.
Okay, Negroes. The brother said Negroes. That is correct.
And the Benjamites be like West Indians.
West Indies. That is also correct. Now, what is Levi in the Hebrew? Levi. I'm gonna write this down for people online. We're just going over. When we go into after Manasseh, we're gonna start breaking it down like last class.
Like Yah.
He said is spell it.
Lawya.
That is correct. Lawya, right? Right here you have, another suffix, which means what? You know what the suffix is? My, or me. His name means joined to me, right? So, of course, you know that in our Hebrew, we have suffixes and prefixes in our names, right? Not all the time, but sometimes, right? I'm going to speed through this because I don't want to hop on this most of the class. What is Simeon? What? Shemaiwan. How is his name? So if his name is Shemaiwan, right? How I spell it?
Oh, shoot.
All right. Now, I forgot I was going to break it down. All right. So, anyways, what does this mean? What would you guess? I don't want you to think about what it would mean, but what would you think? Your context clues, what do you think it got in his name? After look at this word, what would you say his name mean, or what it has to be in his name? Here. That's exactly right, because his name is affliction is heard, but the reason why you know that is because you see the root word Shammai. Shammai means to hear. Right here. Don't get it confused with what else?
Shammai?
No.
Shaquat?
Right. Shaquat means quiet. Shammai means listen or hear. What does this wand? What does the wand do? The wand makes a name, makes something a noun, or makes something a noun. Because when I say noun, I mean it makes it a name. Because what's a name? A name is a noun. Shammai is not a noun. Listen and hear is not a noun. But you add the wand into it, it becomes a noun or a name. For example, we know a brother named what? Shamarwan. Shamarwan without the wand would be what? Shamar. Means to watch. Is watch a word? Is it watch a noun? No. And another brother who goes by the name Gadawan, right? Means cutter, hewer. That's his name. But Gadai by itself is what? Cut. Right.
So
hew. Go ahead.
So what is the wand at the end? Like, what does the wand mean?
It makes it a name. That's what you want to think about. Okay, so I'm breaking down like this. In Hebrew, we have certain things that we have certain prefixes, suffixes, and things you could enter into a word that will make it not a different word, but different context. Mm-hmm. So, for example, the wand makes a name, right? Or a noun, right?
Right.
So, Shemaiwan, right? So, you can make a name based on what? Adding the wand to a name, right? Now, with that being said, we're going to break this down today. I love breaking this down. So, this is Lashawan, right? Lashawan. Qadash, right? What does Qadash mean? Huh?
Holy.
Holy, right? Holy. Right? Holy. We said we always break down. Hey, Deuteronomy 7:6. It say you'll be a holy people. Holy comes from the Hebrew word Qadash, meaning what? Set apart. What are you set apart from? The heathens, right? If you set apart from the heathens, how can God love everybody? He separated them from each other. Simple cut. Lashawan, right? The root word of Lashawan is this. So you're like, what does Lashawan mean? Tongue. That's what it has right there, right? What does Lashan mean? No, tongue.
Why? Okay, if it means tongue, I get what you're saying. A wand. Why didn't you just do like Lashawn?
Because now we're gonna break it down. This why it makes words have this. Makes it an action.
Okay.
You add that in the middle word, makes it an action. Now, with that being said, why is it still tongue and tongue? Would you be able to break it down? What would be your guess? Think biblical, think ancient.
Why?
If they both tongue, why am I making this one an action word?
Because you speaking it.
Give the brother a hand. Good night. Damn right. The brother said because we speaking it. The reason back in the day, he's like, what tongue do you have? That's how they ask you whether you like you had a strange tongue. I never heard that speech before. I never heard that language before. You had a strange tongue. So the reason why we have Lashawan Qadash is because Lashan means tongue, and we're speaking. It is a language, so it has Lashawan. Lashawan. And you're like, well, why do we say Lashawan Qadash and it means holy tongue? Because the Qadash is describing what? It's describing the tongue, the language. So that's why when you write it, you say Lashawan Qadash. But you wouldn't say tongue holy, you would say holy tongue, because the holy is describing that tongue.
In the sense that you saying the holy is describing like is it just making it more specific.
Yeah. So sometimes in Hebrew, a lot of times the way we would say it in English, the way we would translate it would be backwards, like we would say right here. Now we're saying we write in Lashawan Qadash. You used to read this, you would read it like what? And you were supposed to say what? Tongue holy. But when we translate it and say it, we say a holy tongue. Because the hardest thing about learning Hebrew is to forget what you learned about the English.
Mm-hmm.
Because their language is ask anybody, they have the hardest language. Right? The hardest language to understand. You can break down, I put, depending on kind, I could put where right here. You don't know what I'm talking about.
Right.
Depending on how I write it, right? But just imagine in context, we hear somebody speak, you wouldn't really know until you have that context. So it's a lot of people come from over here and they don't really, a lot of words we have is not, the thing about biblical Hebrew is that a lot of people, you can't translate words that was not there or lingo that we never used. You get what I'm saying? So basically, like I say, like, if something, what's something we say today? What's something that didn't exist back then? Like you create, you know what I'm saying? You can't okay, I'm gonna give it a simple example. It might sound stupid, but you can't translate, iPhone into, Hebrew. So a lot of times you see people come into English and they can't really speak because we have a lot of words that they don't have in their vocabulary. Like for example, jujitsu, my professor, it's hard for him to describe certain things because he just don't have that in his vocabulary back home because you describe it differently. I mean that you wouldn't have language. For example, I said tongue rather than what? Language. So I would be saying tongue, but in your terms it would mean language. You know what I'm saying?
So if I could, basically you saying that he would be speaking, it's like a slang.
Yeah, you have this. Okay, for example, I say this. I love this example.
Translated to which language?
Let's see the feds, man. It's like you trying to give me the Arabic breakdowns in Hebrew. All right. So, ma shalamka. What does this mean? What does this mean? Ma. What does ma means? How? Okay. What is shalom?
Peace.
Peace. Good job. Peace. What is ka? Suffix. Your. So what am I asking you?
Add words into it.
Yeah. What?
How is your peace?
How's your peace? What is that like saying?
How you doing?
How you doing? You know what I'm saying? This is our lingo. That's how we talk. That's why we say, hey, shalom, brother. And shalom be what? In English, you say, hey, and what? Goodbye. In Hebrew, we say shalom and shalom. You know what I'm saying? It's different things.
So would that be like, if I could, that would be what's saying shalom, if in the English terms, to translate it, would it be like saying what up? What's up?
Nah, it would say peace.
Or would it just be peace?
You know what I'm saying? Some stuff is just linked, like, you know, how you say different things. Like, y'all understand, right? You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah, like, what's up? Like, yeah.
Okay. Okay.
All right, so now when we stopped on Shemaiwan, what's Zebulun? Zabalawan.
Right.
What do you see in Zabalawan? You see that one in there, right? Again, right? Now we have Ephraim. What is Ephraim? Apariam. Now what else you got? The next one, Manasseh. What is Manasseh? I just said it earlier. Manasseh, right? Or Manasseh. That's the one thing you're gonna get. One thing you're gonna start understand with the Hebrew is you find your way of saying it multiple times and how you where's the breaks and pauses at. That me personally, that is probably the hardest thing with Hebrew because our language was taken from us. So we gotta just because you pronounce stuff the right way, pronounce stuff by its characters, doesn't mean it's probably the best way to say it because it have pauses and breaks in it, right? I want to see an example. All right, so now we got Gad, right? So everybody know what Gad means? No? Let's get it in the scriptures. Genesis, you know what chapter I want? No, not 49. We want how you got his name first. Genesis, the 30th chapter, verse 11. You can read it when you got it, yeah, if you could. Mm-hmm. Genesis 30th chapter, verse 11.
Book of Genesis, chapter 30, verse 11. And Leah said, a troop cometh, and she called his name Gad.
So what does his name mean?
Troop.
Troop. Now, jump to Genesis, the 49th chapter.
Yeah.
Verse 19.
Yeah.
Read it.
Book of Genesis, chapter 49, verse 19. Gad, a troop shall overcome him, but he shall overcome at the last. So
we know what about Genesis, the 49th chapter? Not describing their symbols. I don't like the way you said that.
They see what?
Not their symbols. Stop saying symbols. What is he doing? What is Jacob doing to his sons? What are you saying?
Oh, I think last class you said this is what they would be like in the last days.
Right. Give us just that hand. I'm going to pick that up at the end of class. So Genesis, the 49th chapter, is Jacob telling his sons what? where they're going to be in the last days. So this is how we know who the 12 tribes of Israel are. Because the Bible, if we're going to be the children of the Bible, if we're going to be the children of God, we don't need no history book to tell us. The only book we need is the Bible. That's the only indicator we need, and we know that from that. So that being said, who is Gad? The Native Americans, right? Right, say no, Native Indians. Now, they the Native Indians, right? Read that scripture again, Bible Kashah. I need y'all somebody to break that down for me. Remember, before you break it down, think about this as this. This is prophecy. We'll keep going.
Genesis, this is book of Genesis, chapter 49, verse 19.
Mm-hmm.
Gad, a troop shall overcome him, but he shall overcome at last.
What does that mean? He's a troop, but a troop shall overcome him.
But he shall overcome at the last, meaning he gonna get the
What's
last.
the troop that overcame him? Yeah, them goddamn conquistadors, them goddamn people who came over them Caucasians.
Oh, so this prophecy happened already.
Right. That's how we know who these people is. A troop shall overcome him. They had troops over here. And now everybody like to boast about the Native Americans, especially in the military. They had, they was, they're the first hand of people going to war. They was going to war with what? The Native Americans. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
They had their soldiers fighting who? You see, all the good museums. So sad that you guys find about the Native Americans in the goddamn museum. This supposed to be goddamn their land. You can't go to unless you're not by a reservation. You're not gonna see them. You gotta go to the museum to even learn about them. And you see them what? The men with them goddamn muskets running around hunting them,
Right.
and troop overcame them. 77 million Native Americans died. Right now, what it said at the end?
But he shall overcome at the last.
He shall overcome at the last. What does that mean?
Yeah.
The last days, Christ's gonna get back and they're gonna get their vengeance.
Right.
He's gonna overcome in the last. I mean, you had us in the first quarter, the second quarter, the third quarter, but goddamn, we're gonna finish, we're gonna win the game. Right? Now, with that being said, what was the Native Americans? What would be your choice of weapon as a Native American?
Yeah, you saying like just off the land?
What would you be if you was a Native American, a so-called Native Indian? What would you be like? What would you think you would have as a weapon? Y'all have
Spear?
You say something earlier? A bow. That's what they represent. A bow. Yeah, this is a bow. This is a bow. You know what arrow is in Hebrew? Katazah. So that is bow, right? How you say this? Can somebody pronounce this? Go ahead, yeah, how do you try it?
Kwasha'ak?
What you said was this. You added this in there. That's what you did, but it ain't that. So say that without adding that extra sound in there. You said everything else right. This is not that part. Kwasha'ak? Nope.
Kwasha'ta?
Nope. Sound each character out.
Kwasha'ta. Well, no,
So say it again. What does this mean underneath there?
it's connected. You drop the A from the thought.
Okay, so now pronounce it.
Kwasha.
No, you had it right there. Just don't say the last part. You connect this to Sha and the Tha without the A. Ain't no A right here. So how you say this?
Quash.
No, how you say this? This is not connected, so you're not saying this together. That's why it's important to know what's connected. This is a character, this is a character, and that's a character. But this character doesn't have its full.
Right.
So these are connected.
Right.
So say this together.
Sha.
No, literally what you see on the board, just say it together.
Shata.
No, there's no A. Why are you saying da? Just say this. You was reading this, read it like you were just reading it. Don't think about, okay, this is a da, that's a sha. Just read this together.
Sha.
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 What you don't get about it?
You said sha.
Sha.
Ah.
What does SHA make?
Sha.
What does THA make? What was out the A? Say without the A. Sha.
Okay, but why in my mind I keep saying the?
Because you looking at it as like, okay, that's a sha and it's a tha. So you trying to pronounce like it's the full tha. The whole reason why this language is it's all about pronunciations. Yeah. The way you hear things. So before you said quasha ah, you said quasha ah. But I could tell if I heard you say that, I would spell it a different way. So right. I'm saying quasha, meaning that I know that it's a qua and the sha and the tha is connected. If I would have said quasha tha, I'd have been like, okay, well, it's qua, sha, and tha. I'd have write that right here, but this right here would have been a whole different word. So if it is a word.
That's quasha tha.
Right. That's how you would say quasha tha if it's a word. We could look it up right now.
How do you pronounce this right here?
Quasha.
Quasha.
Right, which means bow.
Or quasha.
Right.
Man, I'm trying not to say it. At the end.
You just want to read what you see. You already know, okay, quasha, like quasha. Right?
Quasha.
Mm-hmm.
Quasha.
Quasha. Don't see when you just read it like you read it in regular. Don't read it like it's a whole foreign language. Quasha.
Sha.
Yeah. Quasha.
Quasha.
Yeah.
Quasha.
Yeah, quasha. That's it. Okay. So now we're gonna go to the next one. It's a little easier when you practice because your brain is like, it looks like it's like in movies it's funny because it's like when you watch movies, they won't do an ancient like alien script language or something. They always put like Paleo Hebrew down there.
Reuben.
Reuben's next, right? So get Reuben and when Reuben's getting his name. I think it's the same 2 chapters we was in. You know how to say it in Hebrew?
Ra'aban.
I spell it.
Rawban.
Ra'aban.
It's Ra'aban.
You're missing something.
That would have been more the easier one.
You're missing something. Okay, we're gonna break. This is how you get to see how you miss something now. So what's this? That's one character.
Ra.
Huh?
Ra.
All right. Is this one character?
No, that's not even a character.
Okay. So what you missing right here? What starts with an A up there?
Ah.
So the correct thing would be this. Ra. Al-Ban. What? Ra Al-Ban, right?
Well, if you could, why did I spell it like that at first then?
Because sometimes in Hebrew, depends, like, okay, so I wouldn't know just based on if you think these connected, this Ra and this Ah, but that really never connects. You never gonna really see you pronounce it like this, Ra. The only thing you really see really pronounced right after Ra that makes it Ra the same noise, the same sound is if I put a ha. If I did a ra and a ha without having the whole ha sound, you always see this a lot. It's ra ra ra. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Okay. I understand that.
So, but this right here, this wasn't a word because you're like, well, that can't be because it's not gonna be connected. This A and W ain't no character, and A can't connect to RA. You know what I mean?
Right.
So this is Ra Abin. So give me that chapter. I'm gonna get you the chapter and verse. That's spelling is wrong.
REUBEN.
BEN.
Right.
Genesis chapter 29, verse 32. Read that.
29 and 32.
Mm-hmm.
The book of Genesis, chapter 29, verse 32. And Leah conceived and bare a son, and she called his name Reuben, for she said, surely the Lord hath looked upon my affliction. Now therefore my husband will love me.
Right. So now what you see is what? Who is Reuben? Reuben's name is Behold a Son. Why she named her son? Why does his name mean Behold a Son? Why would Reuben name mean Behold a Son? Meaning he's what? Based on his name, Behold a son. Like, damn, I got a son. Bond means son, right?
Right.
What number is Jacob? I mean, what number is how? What number is how I say this? What number is Reuben in the list of the sons?
10.
No, read what you got. The 12 tribes chart is not in order based on who's oldest and youngest.
Okay. Read verse 33.
Context, read it again.
This is the book of Genesis, chapter 29, verse 32.
Mm-hmm.
And Leah conceived and bare a son, and she called his name Reuben.
Leah conceived the son, right?
Right.
Go ahead.
For she said, surely the Lord hath looked upon my affliction.
So the Lord, what was her affliction?
She couldn't bear no kid.
She couldn't bear no kids. So now she got a son. So how old this son is? He's the oldest son. Reuben is the oldest son of Jacob. Yeah, read it again.
And Leah conceived and bare a son, and she called his name Reuben. For she said, surely the Lord hath looked upon my affliction. Now therefore my husband will love me.
Now she thought having a child will make what? No, okay, so back then, this one thing women don't know about today is I'm not gonna say considered useless, but if you couldn't have no damn children, it was like almost a shame. Like he said, the Lord afflicted you. Like you had to have faith. That's why a lot of the women in the scriptures was barren. They never had. That was a faith they had to deal with. Not able to have children. That being said, that showed that a woman's role was to have children, be a wife. And if you couldn't have children, be a wife, you were scorned upon. Like you can't have no kids. Nowadays, it's like you got kids.
Right.
We switched up. We destroyed as a people. They took the feminine qualities away from a woman. Now she's masculine, but good, righteous women, they trying to be as feminine as possible.
Right.
They want to have children. If you don't, what are you gonna be known for? The job you made. As a woman won't be known for how much money they made at their job, not how many children they bared or how good of a mother they was. Go ahead.
If I could, on the last part, when it said, for she said, surely the Lord hath looked upon my affliction. Now therefore my husband will love me. And like earlier you stated that the reason why she was going, like she couldn't bear no kids, and now she can. And it says Reuben being the first son, her husband will love her because it's a boy.
Right.
Is that like the thing because men want to have a son?
Yeah, they want to have children.
So
like
that's why she said her husband will love her.
Yeah, like it's like
her.
You know what happened with Abraham? Like that's a righteous woman that would kill a righteous woman not being able to bear children. Because what happened with Abraham? Abraham and Sarah. What happened with Sarah? Huh? Huh? She was barren. She couldn't have no children. Abraham had Isaac at an old age. She didn't believe when the angel said, well, you're going to have a child. She laughed. I couldn't have that. But it vexed her so much, she wanted her husband to still have a child, so he gave her what? Hagar. Right? Her servant. To sleep with, for Abraham could lie with her and have who? Ishmael. But as soon as what happened? As soon as she had her own son, she kicked that bond and servant and her son out. The Lord said, hey, listen to your wife, because in Isaac shall that seed be called. For all you goddamn Muslims out there. The Lord ain't called you. Y'all want to think about because the Lord blessed them Lord blessed them because Lord messed with Abraham.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's how, that's how black the Lord is. Like, hey, since I mess with you, I'm gonna bless them. Now look at they flourishing. They had 12 princes, 12 sons. But now these bastards took it too far. They took it too far, but then they got the covenant, they got the blessing, want to make the Quran, and now you're gonna have to get dealt with. And ain't no such thing as no Abrahamic faith either. That's what they want to say, Abrahamic faiths. Ain't no damn. What's Abrahamic faith? What faith? What does that even mean? Abraham never had no religion. This is a way for them to try to make themselves into the covenant. But always remember that in Isaac shall that seed be called. It's a straight cut. I ain't trying to do no scripture breakdown class. It's a straight cut when you go into the Galatians, the 3rd chapter, because Christians love that Galatians, the 3rd chapter, right? He said, now all the children of Abraham, let's pull that scripture up. We're going to show you. Why do it? We preach. Let's go. Galatians, the 3rd chapter. Either that or Romans. Let me see. Galatians 3. All right, go to verse 16.
Book of Galatians, chapter 3, verse 16.
Mm-hmm.
Now to Abraham and his seed where the promise is made. He saith not, and to seeds as of many, but as of one.
What is seeds? What is that? Children. So read it again from the top.
It's the book of Galatians, chapter 3, verse 16.
Mm-hmm.
Now to Abraham and his seed where the promise is made.
Mm-hmm.
He saith not, and to seeds as of many, but as of one, and to thy seed, which is Christ.
Showing that was a metaphor showing that the Lord never gave the covenants to all Abraham's children. How much children did Abraham have? Pop quiz. How much you think?
How many sons?
Abraham had
10.
No, not 10. How much you had?
I think
It's 8. Why? Because he had Ishmael, he had Isaac, and he had 6 other sons. Do you ever do people even know that? Because nobody give a damn about the 6 other sons. Do you anybody heard about the only reason you know Ishmael because he was the first son? Right? So the Lord don't give a damn. So keep going in that scripture.
Verse 17. Are you want me to keep going on 16 or
go to verse 17?
Verse 17. And this I say, that the covenant that was confirmed before God in Christ, the law, which was 430 years after, cannot disannul that it should make the promise of none effect.
So what is it saying? A lot of Christians are trying to use this saying what? We don't have to part of the law. It's about promise, right? Now what it says, read it again.
Verse 17. And this I say, that the covenant that was confirmed before God in Christ, the laws, which was 430 years after.
Which was, the law was 430 years after. The law was, keep going.
Cannot disannul that it should make the promise of none effect.
Should make the promise of one effect. So what? The law? What law is it talking about? What law came 430 years after? How does that make sense? I thought Adam received the law. I thought Noah had the law.
They're not talking about the law, has commandments.
What are they talking about?
They're talking about the punishment of the law.
Get that brother hand. The punishment of the law, meaning that the law was added because of what? transgressions. So what law is added for transgression? What is transgression? What is sin? Transgression of law. So the law was added for the law? Make no sense. You understand it saying what? The law, the punishments was added for the transgressions of the law.
Right.
Meaning before then, who would kill you?
Levites?
Before Levitical priesthood, but they was what the law was.
Right.
Who would kill you? The Lord would kill you.
Right.
It's like he killed that brother who went into his brother's wife and he's supposed to raise up children,
Right.
but all he did was have sex with her and did not put the seed in her. Right? Did not do that. Now keep going.
Verse 18.
Mm-hmm.
For if the inheritance be of the law, it is no more a promise.
So if the inheritance be of the law, it's no more a promise. What does that mean?
I can crack at it.
Mm-hmm.
In this context, I think this one's talking about the law, statutes, and commandments, or it's still talking about the punishment.
Right. Where we at?
Verse 18.
For if the inheritance be of the law, it is no more of promise. The whole chapter is talking about how it comes from promise. What's the promise? And Isaac shall that seed be called. That's the promise. So when we debate people, always remember, never debate blessings. You'll always debate the promise. Who the promise went to. The promise, the law, statutes, commandments, and covenants. Don't ever debate blessings because the Lord can bless anybody. He blessed Esau with what? No, he blessed him with the what? With a sword, right? He blessed Abraham's son Ishmael too. So now keep going.
But God gave it to Abraham by promise.
Meaning what? This came by promise. God said he was going to redeem us. That we're going to get the kingdom of heaven. It's not about how good you kill somebody for committing adultery. I'd rather have nobody commit adultery. That's more righteous, and that's what the faith of Christ is. Back then, they thought what made me righteous was based on how many times I could find somebody serving a false god. The more people I kill for disobeying the law, I'm righteous. That's what they thought it was. Right? Go ahead.
If I could, because I may not trying to turn to a scripture breakdown.
Mm-hmm.
But is that exactly what you talking about? Is like with the fake Israelites? Like how many times they condemn somebody
Right.
for righteous in the
It's exactly because they had the same spirit as the Pharisees and Sadducees, which nobody understand that just because you know who you are does not make you in the truth.
Right.
When we say you're in the truth, meaning that you were a disciple and a follower of Christ.
Right.
Christ only had 12 disciples because they understood the spirit of Christ.
Right.
And even when they did it, they were sitting down learning. Why I say this? Why you say that? What's the breakdown on that? But they like the Pharisees and Sadducees thinking that if they go out and condemn the whole world, that they're righteous. But them themselves was guilty.
Right.
Christ, the best example is this. When that woman was caught in adultery in the very act. Christ said, anyone without sin, cast the first stone. What happened? Ain't nobody could cast a damn stone because they was all guilty. And when he told that woman, go and sin no more. Christians always look over that. They always look over that. He told her, go sin no more, and he never condemned her. She said, you got any accusers? Neither do I. Go ahead. That's what he did. Now what happens, man? People don't have that spirit of Christ because they the ones who were trying to kill that girl, and them themselves was committing adultery. Like all these fake Israelite groups. Sisters go join in schools and marry 6 times. What did Christ say? When you was a follower of Christ, Christ said what? You can never get divorced.
Right.
Simple, man. Now, with being Reuben, let's get Genesis 49 chapter. Wait, I want to finish that real quick. Where is that?
Galatians 3 and 18. Y'all was on 18 for the promise, Abraham's promise. And you want me to go back to Genesis?
That's good. We can skip that. That's the one that Abraham and the seed were the promises, man. I'm not breaking that down because a lot of people, what you're going to see is Christians love doing that. Like even in 14, it says that the blessing of Abraham might come onto the Gentiles through Jesus Christ, that we might receive the promise of the Spirit through faith. Like, what's the promise? You know what I'm saying? So a lot of people don't understand that at all. Now let's get Genesis the 49th chapter.
Mm-hmm.
And I want where we at?
I think we was on Reuben right now. I think next is Asher.
Mm-hmm.
Down with Reuben.
We are Reuben. We Reuben.
One second. The description on Reuben.
Yep. I'm gonna get it for you real quick though. Anybody know what Reuben's is? We're gonna read the scripture, but you know what Reuben is?
Who they are?
Yeah.
Oh, like what like they beat today's people?
Yeah.
Is it Seminole
The
Indians?
Seminole Indians. Now the Seminole Indians are what? Those are like most of the Indians that come from out of where? Florida. Right? The Florida area, a lot of brothers from there would be Seminole Indians. What's that boy's a Seminole Indian? He played in the NBA. Also Tazak, of course, but he plays in the NBA. Lou Williams.
Yeah. Reuben. Yep.
And Reuben. So what would be they? Okay, also Tazak, he had a glorious war belt on, and what he had on there. If anybody remember. Yeah, painting of it on. What? How can it be a donkey if something else is represented by a donkey? But you are very close, sister. So was a horse. Horse. So was. You know, my grandpa had a couple. Horses ain't plural, is it?
Mm-hmm. It could be cool.
You got. And what are the horses at? You got the horse down there. What are the horse down there? How many horse you got? You don't put an S on there. I'm talking about in English.
But you would say Swas.
I'm not gonna say that because I don't know. Yeah, I guess you got yum. Yum is just a suffix for anything plural. You know what I'm saying? So let's get it. We got 2 more. We got 3 more. So let's hurry up and get this done. So like I will need a breakdown though with Abraham because the goddamn Muslims, well, goddamn Arabs. All right, what we got next, y'all? Help me out. Asher. Which is what?
Shar.
Spell it for me.
AASHAR.
All right. Give me Genesis, the 19th chapter.
Mm-hmm. In there.
No, 30th chapter. Give me verse 13.
It's the book of Genesis, chapter 30, verse 13.
Mm-hmm.
And Leah said, "Happy am I, for the daughters will call me blessed." And she called his name Asher.
She said what?
And she called his name Asher.
No, can you read the verse again?
And Leah said, "Happy am I, for the daughters will call me blessed." And she called his name Asher.
All right. What is his name? What does his name mean? Huh?
Happy am I.
Happy.
Oh, happy.
Ashar Napash. Happy soul. That's what Napash means.
That's why he like
And you see his spirit.
happy.
Nan right, Doc. Nan right.
He is happy.
Nan right, Doc. Nan right. Happy soul. All right. Now, with that being said, let me get the 49th chapter. 49, verse 20.
The book of Genesis, chapter 49, verse 20.
Mm-hmm.
Out of Asher, his bread shall be fat, and he shall yield royal dainties.
Dantes?
Dainties.
Anybody know what that is? Huh?
The items, just like stuff. Stuff.
What is dainties? You want to look at look what it is, try to find what it is, or you want me to give it to y'all?
Dainty, something good to eat, a delicacy.
Okay, it is a fruit. What would be that delicacy at that time of a fruit? A grape. So this is a grape. I nod.
So grapes would be anabium.
Mm-hmm. Grape. So why are grapes so delicacy? And you know about it. Why would you think fruit is such a big thing back in the day? Only royal people really ate fruit like that. Why would you think that? No.
Can you ask the question again, Bro Michelle?
Why would only certain people have access to good fruit back then? Because of what?
Oh, because of the land. Because they had to have good land to grow.
That's not the wrong answer, but I'm gonna help you out. How come you could be rich or poor, access to good fruit right now? Because of what? Because back then you had no storage to store your food. You had no HEBs or no refrigerators.
Also, nothing's getting rotten. If it's rotten, you're gonna throw it out.
Right. So that means the only people really was able to get it was fresh. You can't go to the store market. It had to be always fresh.
Oh.
That's why grapes was always seen. Only the people who had grapes was what? Rich folk.
That makes sense.
You're like, why? I go get grapes for $1.69. At HEB, why is it a delicacy back then? That's why. It's like supply chain.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You never know, right? Crazy. Yeah. Yeah. Jeremiah broke it down, so let's get the last two.
It's Naphtali.
Naphtali. I don't know how to spell it in English, but it don't matter because I'm not an Englishman. About do? Someone know how to spell it in Hebrew? Without looking?
N-A-T.
T? No. I'm going to say this one. Remember, Naphthalia.
Oh, P-A-T-H-A.
Yeah, help out.
Did you say A-T-H-A? We're not going to say
Yeah, I did say T-H-A.
Y'all want to go with THA?
No, he didn't write it, so I don't think.
No, I'm not. I'm just waiting for y'all other team. What y'all got going on?
I think it's T-H-A-L.
Hey.
Thou. I think it's a Y. It doesn't look right. It doesn't look right. I don't think so. He agrees.
Nah,
I don't think that'll work.
because it ain't no owl.
Thou, he emphasized that though. I think the end is still no thou. Can you say it again?
Naphthalia.
Thou.
It's not Naphtali.
Thou.
It's Naphtali.
Okay, I think that Nabathal. I think that is correct because he's saying Nabathal.
You're going with that?
Nabathal. Is it a W in there? Nabathal.
I was only saying it could be because I don't see no. Am I tripping? Do I see
Nabathal, like T-H-A-L, like dog. Whatever you decide, I'm good.
That's tricky. I'm trying to say it out loud, and I think I'm missing something because
I want to put a W in there so bad because I just think he's emphasizing that middle part too much.
I know for sure I don't think it got no W.
You think so? Well, he keeps saying not thou, but we gotta get that somehow. So I think it's M.
I know for sure they can't.
Y'all going with this or not? This is correct.
Yeah,
Pathal is a real word to wrestle.
Okay.
So not Pathalia.
So wrestler.
My wrestling. That's the root word. So a lot of root words that come with a word based on they'll take a word from somewhere. So my wrestling, right? That's his name. Now read the Genesis? I should have gave it to y'all. I could have just gave it to y'all I gave it to y'all, but what Genesis is it? What we kept going?
49,
I think it's the 30th chapter.
30?
Mm-hmm. That
What verse?
I can't find it. What is it? Genesis 30 chapter?
I'm in 30 right now. I know in 49 I did see something where it says Naphtali. If I'm saying it correctly,
Let me see.
but it might not have been it. Like at least maybe describing how he got that name, how he got his name.
We got Genesis the 49th chapter, verse 21.
Got it. Okay, so what is it? It's the book of Genesis, chapter 49.
It's also in 30 and 8. Go to 30 and 8.
30 and 8. It's the book of Genesis, chapter 30, verse 8. And Rachel said, with great wrestling have I wrestled my sister, and I have prevailed. And she called his name Naphtali.
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 Yeah, that would be it in Hebrew. So what is their name? Is go to Genesis the 49th chapter. 21.
It's the book of Genesis, chapter 49, verse 21. Naphtali is a hind let loose. He giveth goodly words.
What is a hind?
A leg?
No. He's a hind let loose. It's an animal. I'm gonna let you know that real quick.
He's a hind let loose. No idea. I've never heard of it.
Let loose. No, it said in the big. It's a. Huh? No. It's a deer. How's it by you? I was about to give you guys say in the last day they should be like a chase row. A chase row is what? What's a row? So and talk about how they be a chase row, right? And what that scripture talking about what? A hind let loose. That's the act like how deers are. You know how deers are, right? The aspect. That's why a lot of people think, I would bring down to you how about how people get zodiac symbols. Mm-hmm. But they were trying to say that, in Genesis 4:19, they had all zodiac signs. No, that's not. We don't do that over here. All right, let's get the last one, y'all. What tribe we missed out on?
Yashakar.
Ooh, goddamn. Okay. All right. How y'all spell it?
Put A R Yashar AKAR.
That's not correct.
When we say that in Hebrew, Yashikar? Oh, yes, because it's a part in English.
That's not correct.
Okay, so Yashikar is YASHA. Yashikar. No. think you
Yes.
should. I think you should put something else in there. Yeah. Sure. I think it's AH. AH in there.
Where? AH?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not 2 A's in it.
Yasha.
No, that's your ah.
That's
That's your ah car. No, that's not it.
All right, y'all gotta figure it out. Yashakar. I'm gonna give you a hint. Don't look. Let me write it down. Okay.
Yasha car.
Yasha car. Are we saying it
Nah, it's definitely Yasha car.
right? Yasha car.
But like if you add,
Car.
I think he had an ace a little bit. Yasha car. Yeah.
But I mean, we saying it wrong.
That's it right there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I know it is. Oh, it's 2 shots in there. But then why are we saying it wrong then?
Yash. Shakar.
Oh.
What? I get it. Wow.
Yashakar.
Yashakar.
Okay, because we were just saying Yash car,
Yashakar. Yeah, that's how we were saying it. Yashakar.
and we were spelling it that way, but
Yash.
thinking we was reading Yasha car.
Yashakar. Yashakar. Okay.
What is his name? What is it? What is it symbol?
Donkey.
How you spell this? I do it in Hebrew.
The fence. The legs. The extra water. And then rock. I don't know what's that.
Khamar. Right? Because ka and kha. So hatazah. You know, so we talk fast, you really want to know. But that's kind of like Baba Kusha. People talk fast, they think it's Baba Kusha, but it's really Baba Kusha. Right? So Yashakar. And is represented by a donkey, which is what? Somebody say it? How you say it?
Khamar.
Good job.
Khamar.
Now with that is the 12 tribes of Israel. Oh, we didn't talk about how you got his name. Go to Genesis, the 30th chapter. Let's get Issachar.
Mm-hmm.
Read it.
Trying to. Unless I may have passed it.
30 and 18.
Oh, it's gone. This is the book of Genesis, chapter 30, verse 18. And Leah said, God hath given me my hire, because I have given my maiden to my husband.
Now, you know what? Hire works hard, right? Now go to 49. What 49 say? 14.
Book of Genesis, chapter 49, verse 14. Issachar is a strong ass couching down between.
What is a strong what?
Ass.
Well, don't talk to me like that.
Issachar is a strong ass couching down between two birds.
Remember, we was in school. We used to watch a movie. I think it was Pinocchio. And Pinocchio, that green thing, he said ass, right? He's going with donkey. And we thought, we was going crazy. You know how kids go when you hear curse words in movies and stuff. But yeah, Christians probably don't, Christians don't even talk like that because they say that's curse words. While meanwhile, people in the Bible killing people. All right. Any more questions in the room? He is hired. He is my hire. Why is it he is my hire? He is my work. And my. Let's get it. You got the suffixes on there? Where is it?
Yeah, in the beginning. Yeah, in the beginning is he.
So what?
Well,
It is not mine.
he.
It's he. So usually we always see the reason why we already knew was a suffix. You just already assume because you're like, okay, well, yeah.
But
No.
it's probably could it be the Shah in the beginning? Is it for the
Why I say what's Shah?
like pertaining to? Is it like him?
Yeah. So yeah, Shah.
Yeah. So like yeah, and then that's SH.
Mhm.
It's out,
It's like them using different things to make a name. It's like we talked about earlier.
like building that sentence.
Yeah, building that sentence up. Shakar. All right, we can look at what that is.
And that's why his symbol, if I'm saying it correctly, would be a donkey because donkeys work hard.
Yep.
They're like the ones that herd it, like that carry all the luggage, whenever you're going on long distances. Or plowing your garden and such.
So hire is what by this? What will hire be? He is. So this would be shot together, right? And they put it together, which would make what? He pertaining to me, right? Shakar is what? Hire. Which is represented by what? A donkey, which is Tamar. Now with that, any more questions? All right, with that, pass the class down. We're gonna give a courage salute to the brothers. Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Barakatham. We'll give a courage salute to the sisters. Yahweh Shema Atan by Hashem Yahweh Shai. That's it.